Hi, my name is Tessa, and if you're new here, we talk about the things that make us happy, healthy, and wealthy. And if you're not new here, you probably already knew that, but I bet you didn't know why. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you the backstory behind where the happy, healthy, wealthy mindset came from, why it's important, and what little actions we can make sure that we are living it out. The important distinction that I want to make before we get too far into this video is that the happy, healthy, wealthy lifestyle is not about being productive. It's about being intentional. And it's about being intentional so that you can use your time to do all of those things that you want to do, and so that you don't realize at the end of your life that you spent all your youth doom scrolling on Instagram. So that's why it is so important, actually, to be intentional about pursuing the things that make us happy, healthy, and wealthy, is because they are going to give us the foundation that we need to follow our dreams. And I know everybody has different dreams. I know everyone has different goals in life. But I think this is pretty universal, that when somebody, whether it's me or you or somebody else, gets an idea of something that they want to do, it's gonna come fast. They're gonna be really inspired by something and they're gonna have a lot of motivation to do it. And then it's gonna also go really fast. They're gonna realize, oh, well, I can't for this reason, that reason. It's not realistic, it's not practical. I already am living a certain life, I can't change it. Whatever excuses come, they're gonna come just as fast as the dream did. But I don't want you to follow those excuses. I want you to follow your dreams. And living happy, healthy, wealthy gives you the foundation that you need to do that. Here's why. Anytime that you start something new or you decide that you want to be somewhere else in the future than where you are today, the hardest part will be that first step that you take. It always will be, because you have to take a leap of faith. You have to take a risk in order to try something new, in order to become something different from what you are. If you have a dream or a goal that is going to put you in a different place than the path that you're on today. This is actually so relevant in these YouTube videos that I make that I've already talked about this. If you want to check out this video, I talk about the importance of having the courage to start, because starting something new is the scariest part of doing something new. It's just the starting part. So taking a deeper dive into each of the values, we start with happy. You cannot follow your dreams if you don't know what your dreams are. So you need to take some time and learn who you are and what makes you happy in order to live your happiest life. So think about the things. What are your likes? What are your preferences? What makes your life worth living? And then how can you pursue them further so that you are more aligned with what makes you happy, so that you're more aligned with your future dreams and goals? I think specifically about one of my friends when I talk about this area of the YouTube channel. She is a musician. Today, she's very talented. I really enjoy listening to her music, but I can't imagine that she started this talented. I imagine that it took a lot of time for her to practice and get to the point for where she is at today. And I think probably that first moment that she picked up a guitar was probably the hardest time that she's ever picked up that guitar, because she had to say, I don't have the proof yet that I'm gonna be good at this or successful at this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And she was able to make that decision and say that to herself because she knew that music was one of her hobbies. She knew herself well enough and she was happy enough to pursue music that it didn't matter if she was going to be successful or get anywhere with it. All that mattered was that she took that first step to doing what she wanted to do because she knew who she was. So if this is the part of the channel that speaks the most to you and is the most interesting, I encourage you to check out my playlist that I just created titled Being Yourself, because that is what the happy part of Happy, Healthy, Wealthy is all about. It's about being yourself. And then next we talk about the healthy value. This category is all about taking care of yourself, your physical and your mental health needs. We want to make sure that we are treating our body and our mind as well as we can, so that we have both the mindset and the capabilities to follow our dreams when they come. If this is the part of the channel that resonates most with you, please check out the playlist I created called Loving Yourself, because that is what we are going to do. We are going to show ourselves all of the love that we can, so that we are being taken care of, so that when our dreams come, we can fully pursue them and and we are not putting roadblocks up ourselves in order to get to where we want to be. When I think about being healthy, I actually think about another one of my friends. He has wanted to become a teacher for as long as I can remember. That has been his dream. And we are finally at the age where he has just completed his student teaching and now he is interviewing for real full-time teaching roles. I am so proud of him and so excited for him. But I cannot imagine the fear that he must have had that first day when he stepped in front of a classroom of children to teach them in his student teaching. That must have been very, very scary. I just can't imagine. Children are just such a brutal audience. He must have been freaking out. But luckily, whether he did it consciously or subconsciously, he had taken care of himself before that moment because he had the confidence he needed to fight that fear, to say, yes, this is scary, but it's worth it to go through it and fight this fear in order to get to where I want to be, because this is my dream and this is who I want to be, and it's worth it. And that's what I want to be. I want to be just like him. I want to have the mental health and the confidence I need to pursue my dreams when they come to me. And that is why I am on this journey, just like I am with being happy and wealthy, in order to be the healthiest version of myself. And then finally, of course, we have wealthy. Unfortunately, whether you like it or not, we live in a capitalistic society. Things cost money. And dreams cost money to pursue, and it's unfortunate, but I want you to have the money that you need to spend on the things that you need to spend money on in order to get to where you want to be. I think about myself actually for this one, and how at a pretty young age I wanted to try out my first pageant. And I had never done it before. Of course, the first step of signing up for that pageant was the hardest step because I did not have any proof that I would be successful. I didn't know where it was going to lead me. I didn't know if I was going to like it, if the girls would be nice, etc. But I didn't let that stop me, and I did sign up. But I needed the money to pay for the entry fee, and I didn't have it. And I spent a lot of time that first year raising up the money I needed in order to enter that pageant. And during that time that it took to raise that money, there were a lot of opportunities where I could have dropped out. And I could have said, you know what, this isn't for me. I don't have the money to do it. I can't do it. And to be honest, that would have been a valid excuse. But I am so grateful that I didn't listen to it and that I kept pursuing it, and I did raise that money, and I was able to compete in my first pageant because I ended up loving it. I was successful, even though you can love things and not be successful in them. But I really enjoyed it. It is now one of my dreams to continue pursuing pageants and to get even higher with them. And now I know that if I want to do this, I need to have the money to do it. And now I've set aside money in my bank account every year to pay for the pageant entry fees that I want to compete in. So if that is something that resonates with you, I want to encourage you to check out the playlist on the YouTube channel called Supporting Yourself, because I want you to support yourself financially so that you have the money to take out that you need to spend on the things that you want to do. Along with watching each of the videos in the playlists that I have conveniently organized for you because of this video, I am also going to be giving you a little bit of homework that I want you to do this week in order to pursue a happy, healthy, and wealthy life. So the first thing that we are going to do for happy is break the rhythm that we are in right now. It is so easy to fall into a life rhythm and kind of feel like a robot, just going through the patterns of your schedule every single day. But I want you to change something. I want you to switch something up just so that you remember you have autonomy, you have control over your life, and you can change it up when you decide that something comes along your way that you want to pursue that's not typical. Maybe it's a dream, maybe it's an opportunity, maybe it's a new goal that you have, but you need to have that muscle built up so that you know you can pursue it when those things come around. If you're in school, maybe you walk the same path to each of your classes each day. Switch it up. Maybe if you go to work and you park in the same parking spot every day, park in another parking spot. Go through the back door rather than the front door. It doesn't have to be big. It can be just a little change that you make. But as long as you continue building that muscle and reminding yourself that this is your life and you are making the choices for yourself, I think that you will have a good foundation so that when something bigger comes along, you'll feel free to choose it. And then for healthy, I want you to really slow down this week and ask yourself, your mind and your body, what it needs from you. I think it's very easy to ignore or just not realize the needs that your body and your mind have, and to just continue, like I said, living the rhythm of life, doing what you've been doing, and kind of neglecting what you need if it's not part of your daily routine. This story is TMI, but I'm gonna share it anyway because I think it's a good example. A couple of years ago, I was on track to be my university's valedictorian, which I was. Very exciting. But it was the last semester of the grades that counted toward that grade point average, the GPA that was being counted at graduation. And I failed an assignment. And I started really getting scared, and I was crying and I was shaking, I was like sweating. I was very close. If I was not having a panic attack, I was sure was very close to having one. I don't know exactly what counts as one or not, but I was not doing well in that moment when I failed that assignment, because I thought I have worked so hard to become valedictorian and it's this one assignment that's going to stop me right at the end. I was really upset about it. Ultimately, like I said, it ended up working out. I was still valedictorian, but I didn't know it at the time, and I was really scared that I had lost it. I was really upset, and in that moment where I was having a hard time breathing, like I was crying so much, just really upset, I just thought, Tessa, you need to get it together. What's just one thing that you can do to make yourself feel better? Just one thing in this moment to just feel more relaxed. And I slowed down and I thought about it, and I realized, yes, this is TMI, I realized I had to pee. I had to go to the bathroom, and I had been holding it in, and I don't know how long I was holding it in for. It wasn't comfortable. And then, I went to the bathroom, I peed, and then I felt a little bit better. That was one thing that I did to kind of listen to my body and take care of myself, and it was just one small thing that I did to make myself feel better in that moment. So of course I don't expect that to relate to anything that you're going through this week, but I do want to encourage you to listen to yourself and figure out what is one thing that you need this week that you can do, that you can give yourself to feel a little bit better. Figure out what you need and then give it to yourself. So that is your one task to do for healthy this week. And then for wealthy, this one I had fun coming up with a little homework assignment for, just because there's obviously so many directions that I could have taken this, but I wanted to make sure that I kept it easy because we're all beginners, we're all on this journey to becoming happy, healthy, wealthy. So I wanted to make sure I made it reasonable for the very first thing that I encourage you to do. You can either save your money and spend it yourself, or you can get scrappy and you can get creative and you can sacrifice other things in order to pay for the things or acquire the things that you want. When I started this YouTube channel, I needed equipment. I needed a tripod and lighting that I'm using right now. And I didn't have the money to spend that myself, and I didn't want to spend the money myself. I hate spending money. I have decided that I'm 100% on the get scrappy, get creative side. I'm not nowhere near the spend my own money side because I hate doing that. So I was like, well, how am I gonna get a tripod and a light fixture for these videos that I'm going to be making? And it just so happened that at work, they were running a 2-month bonus program where if you ended up in the top 3 in the company of all these different metrics, that you would get a bunch of Amazon gift cards. So you bet your booty that I was there early every morning, I was there late every day, working super hard to hit these metrics so that I ended up in the top 3. I got all these Amazon gift cards and I was able to spend those on the equipment that I'm using now. I want you to decide. Are you on the scrappy, get creative side? Are you willing to sacrifice maybe some comfort because you are pursuing things in a different or creative way? Or are you on the spend your own money side? You're okay with, sacrificing little purchases here and there on daily things in order to have the money to spend on really big, exciting opportunities and dreams when they come to you. So decide, scrappy or saver. That's what you need to decide this week. That's your wealthy homework. And then if you feel bold enough, if you feel vulnerable enough, I would really encourage you to comment down below those 3 things that you're doing this week. So for happy, how are you taking control back in your life? For healthy, what are you doing to give your body what it needs this week? And for wealthy, where do you fall on that spectrum of if you're gonna spend your own money or if you're gonna get creative and figure out another way to get what you need? And before this video wraps up, I do want to make 2 things very clear. Again, happy, healthy, wealthy isn't about adding things to your busy lives. It's not about productivity. It's more about subtracting things from your life that don't align with what you want or who you want to be in the future. It's not about, oh my goodness, I have to be healthy. I have to start going to the gym every single day. I have to sign up for therapy. I have to go to church and help my spiritual health. Like, no, like you're not adding anything to your schedule. You're just subtracting away the things that don't make you feel good. You're taking away an hour that you spend doom scrolling on Instagram every day. Okay, so this isn't about stressing you out, adding more things to your schedule. It's about being intentional with your time to pursue the things that you want to do so that you have the foundation you need to follow your dreams. And then second, it's not always about you. I want to make that clear. Like I said earlier, happy, healthy, wealthy is about how to prioritize your time. I had said if it doesn't make me happy, healthy, or wealthy, it's not a good use of my time. That's not true. I'm taking it back. Because other people are involved. If it doesn't make me or someone I know happy, healthy, or wealthy, then it's not a good use of my time. It's not always just about you. It's not always just about me. We have to look out for each other as well. Maybe, this week you want to sit down and write a letter to one of your friends because it'll make them happy. Does that make you happier? Does that make you healthier? Does that make you wealthier? Not necessarily, but if you're looking out for other people, it's just as important. Alright, if anything I said in this video stuck out to you or resonated with you, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel because, like I said, this channel is all about the things that make us happy, healthy, and wealthy, and I am excited to be on this journey with you.